All right, we're back in Summer League here, Las Vegas. Thomas and Max Center, myself, Amin, Elhassan. That's Tom Haberstroh. And I'm really excited about our next guest because this guy isn't just a Vegas entertainer. He's not just one of the first stand-up comic in the history of Cirque du Soleil. And I could go with a lot of accolades. You know what the number one accolade I'm going to get about this guy? He gets the show. His name's Brad Williams.
Yes.
You follow and listen to the Dan Le Batard Show for a long time.
I get the show. I'm a fan of the show, and I know that this is the Basketball Illuminati podcast. We're all keeping our third eye open. I don't have a third eye because I don't need two disabilities. But I'm stoked, and I know your fans are excited once you have amazing basketball people on this podcast that now they get the perspective of a white dwarf from Orange County, California, which, as we all know, that's where you go for your NBA takes.
So this is the great thing about Brad. When the show went out to the Super Bowl in L.A., Brad was gracious enough to take Whitty, and who else was out there? Was Tony out there?
Yeah. It was Whitty, it was Tony, and it was Chris Cote. And I took them out to dinner. Had a nice time with them, and I actually have beef with Chris Cote.
Nice pun.
Yes.
I have beef with Chris Cote. Let's break it right here.
Yeah, give it to me.
Because I listen to the show religiously, and of course I listen when they get back. So I'm like, hey, maybe they'll mention me. That'd be very nice.
Oh no.
And Chris Cote talks about, oh yeah, we went out to dinner. We went to this spot, and then we saw David Spade, and we talked to David Spade, and I'm like, you mother effer. All right, so here's the real story.
Yes.
I take him out to dinner. I pick the restaurant.
Truth teller.
And then David Spade shows up. Me and David are friends. I see him. I say, hey, there's Spade. You guys want to go say hi? Cody says, oh, no, I can't. I can't. I'm so nervous. I don't want to go over there. And then I go, no, it'll be fine. David's cool. He's a good guy. I bring them over. They have an interaction with Spade, and they come back, and they profusely thank me afterwards. Like, oh, thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it. So I'm thinking that Cody's going to be like, yeah, my man Brad Williams.
Hooked it up.
Good comic, and he hooked it up. Not a word. And then it was actually Whittingham, shout out to Chris Whittingham, who came in and was like, yes, Brad Williams took us out to dinner. Chris.
He called him out.
Chris Cote. Fraud just like his father.
Fraud.
Yeah, I said it right here. Chris Cote, just like Greg Cote. Fraud, self-involved, self-interested. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Speaking of apples.
Good transition.
Mad Apple is the name of the show.
Yes.
It's at
New York Hotel and Casino. Mad Apple is the new Cirque du Soleil show, of which I am a stand-up comedian in it, and doing stand-up. I'm in a Cirque du Soleil show, but I'm doing stand-up comedy. I don't come out in a leopard print leotard with fancy makeup and get fired out of a cannon going wee wee. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm doing traditional stand-up comedy, but it is a spectacular show that combines stand-up comedy, traditional Cirque stuff. You've seen it now twice.
Twice, yes.
Yeah, so that it has the Amin Elhassan stamp of approval.
Did you laugh the second time too?
I did.
Yeah.
Because he has new stuff in it. Like you did jokes that you didn't do the first time.
Exactly. Whereas like the other Cirque performers, you can't really adjust the wheel of death too much. You can't freestyle the wheel of death. Yeah, we have something called the wheel of death.
Yes.
That's great. But if something happens in the news, I can talk about it like that day or that night. So like when Biden fell off his bike, I was like, oh well, that's gonna be fun, and I added that to the show.
So there's a bit on Jimmy Fallon where they have like a karaoke roulette, right?
Okay.
And they spin a wheel or something like a beep 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 boop boop boop, and then like
Nice wheel sound
Ariana Grande is like sitting there. It's like, oh, you have to sing Celine Dion's voice to Mo Money Mo Problems.
Okay.
I'm on the Basketball Illuminati podcast.
Jeez.
Well said.
I got tripped up because of the grift thing with the Illuminati. Anyway,
It's Vegas.
I'm truth telling.
Super Bowl week, Dan.
Yeah.
It's all rigged, right?
What's rigged?
When they do like the spin the wheel on Jimmy Fallon, where they have like a guest on the show, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you have to do Celine Dion, Mo Money, Mo Problems.
So some background here.
Okay.
Tom Haberstroh, I once had to reveal to him
this.
that when you're at an NBA game and the noise meter comes on, that's not actually measuring the noise.
You didn't know that?
He thought it was like, oh wow.
Do you think the noise meter on the scoreboard would ever like not go all the way up? You're like, you stupid fans, you didn't love the team enough.
I still believe. I won't let it go.
For a guy who's hosting a podcast called Basketball Illuminati, you really didn't go to take a deep dive into the stadium.
Yeah, 2 out of his 3 eyes were closed.
Yeah,
apparently.
exactly. So you're saying, do they know what songs they're going
Right,
to
like
sing?
they're like, oh, we're cycling through, and magically it lands on Celine Dion does.
Yes.
Or like
Yes.
Doc Rivers doing.
Yes.
Why?
They absolutely know, because especially on those shows, they have a segment producer come out to you, and every bit that you're doing is talked about, is scripted, unless you're, I don't know, like a friend of the host, and they know that it's going to be fine.
Right.
But everything there is very meticulous.
We were talking about this the other day, the concept of, because you just reminded me with seeing More Money, More Problems with Celine Dion's voice, the concept of doing jokes, sounding like another comedian, their style, their voice, but not doing their jokes.
Right.
Like writing your own jokes.
Yeah, this is like my dream show to do. Is do a show at the Comedy Store where comedians have to then impersonate other comedians, but write original jokes in the style of that comedian. So like, we could do a Bill Burr type thing, and you go up and you would write a Bill Burr type joke or a Harlan Williams type joke. I would love to do that. Or like, you want to do Larry the Cable Guy one-liners. That to me would be really fun, especially if someone got Carrot Top.
Oh, friend of the show, Carrot Top.
Friend of the show, Carrot Top. I would love to meet that guy. I haven't figured out where the whole...
Wait, isn't there like
gotta
a
be
Vegas scene?
Yeah.
There's got to be an overlap here.
There has to be. Like, I'm in Vegas. I'm a comedian performing. I don't know if I haven't reached the level of a Carrot Top yet. I don't know if we're supposed to all meet at the Golden Tiki at some point. That's a local bar here. But I'm not sure. I would love to meet Carrot Top and just have him look at me and go, yeah, I look weird, but at least I don't look like Brad Williams.
Well, Jesus.
That guy's messed up.
Speaking of messed up, you told me and Tom that you had a little bit too much to drink the other night.
Yes.
And, it's Vegas, and we talked about how you manage it. You don't live on the Strip. You live away from the Strip to just disconnect.
Yeah.
But in the process of telling us this, you told us you had a drink that was called...
I had an experience. I won't call it a drink.
Okay.
And this was a day thing where some friends were in town, and they always want to go hard. So, yeah, we went out, and something on the menu at the Wet Republic pool is called the Champagne Bukkake. And I go, that sounds good.
Okay.
So,
who doesn't want
So
that?
you played in the celebrity basketball game at the All-Star a couple years ago.
I did, and we'll get into that because I have beef with Hasan Minhaj. Friend of the show, Hasan. Friend of the show, Hasan Minhaj. I have beef with him. I'll explain that. But the Champagne Bukkake, what that is, it's not a new category on Pornhub. Do not Google
Are you sure?
It means research, yeah.
If you want to see video of the Champagne Bukkake, go to my Instagram at Brad Williams Comic. And what happens is 4 lovely ladies wearing bikinis and one guy in very tight board shorts came out with 4 bottles of champagne. They shake it up, and when DJ Pauly D had the beat drop, they just sprayed me.
Oh, that's
no way.
They just sprayed me and my friends always champagne. So you know what it's like to win an NBA title.
So you just reminded me of something. I want to set the record straight. So there was a huge controversy during the finals about me watching porn courtside at the NBA finals after the game while we were doing our post-game show.
Yep.
And the story is, if you weren't listening to the show on that day, I would grab Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer to be a guest because everyone else on the show was streaming.
I know where you're
remotely.
going with this, yeah.
So I grab Kevin O'Connor, and as I'm fumbling with the sound, I Alt-Tab, and it's a full page of Pornhub thumbnails. And so that's not the worst part of it. The worst part is it's a full page of thumbnails of me looking for evidence of one Bridget
Oh,
Bridget
yeah.
Powers, is that her new?
Yes, Bridget Powers. You may know her by the term or the name Bridget the Midget. She's a little person who was formerly an adult film star who now has a heavy metal band.
So the reason why
that was Mad Libs, by the way.
But it's Brad, because Brad introduced me to. Like, we're watching this movie Tiptoes for Cinephobe. That Brad
what's Cinephobe?
Cinephobe's the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately poorly rated. Or maybe they didn't get a fair shake. It's Cinephobe. It's produced by Anthony Mays. You get it wherever you get podcasts. It's Alien Month. This week we had The Watch. The Watch, starring Vince Vaughn,
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
A classic.
Yeah, a bunch of other people. But that's not the point. The point is when we did Tiptoes, which was a couple episodes ago, Brad was gracious enough to be a guest. Brad, we got to work on getting you on movies that aren't centered around little people.
Aren't dwarf related. I've done Leprechaun in the Hood and Tiptoes, which if you're not familiar with that movie, a brief synopsis. Gary Oldman,
Yes.
Not a dwarf.
Plays a dwarf. And you're like, oh, what kind of crazy CGI did they do, like Lord of the Rings style, to turn non-dwarves into dwarves? You want to know what they did? They put him on his knees. They put him on his knees, on shoes on his knees.
They sit him on the couch. They have little legs popping out of the couch.
They have legs it's the most not even high school film style. This movie stars 3 Academy Award winners
and a Golden Globe winner, an Emmy winner, and Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. Dinklage is in the movie. Didn't play the main dwarf. Gary, you got Peter Dinklage right there, and they're like
supporting dwarf, not even the main.
And you had Gary Oldman playing the main dwarf, even though Peter Dinklage was right there. That will tie into why I have beef with Hasan Minhaj as well. So I will get to that. But yes, Bridget the Midget, Bridget Powers, is in the movie as a love interest.
And I did not know anything about her work. I thought she was just one of the actors, and so he points it out, like, oh, I know her. She's an adult film star. Yep. And I said, really? And that's why the Pornhub search was there.
So you're asking for a witness here.
Well, no.
Corroborate your story. There's a reason why you had.
Keep your third eye open, first of all. Don't start winking your third eye at me. Keep it wide open as I talk to you, right? So the problem is, I didn't know her alternate name that she's come up with. So I had to Google the actual name in the search bar, but Pornhub went through this thing in 2020 where they kind of scrubbed all offensive terms out of. Don't ask me why I know this. They just did. So it's not there, but apparently these videos are still tagged. So I got a bunch of videos of not her, but other dwarves. And so what Kevin O'Connor of The Ringer saw on my screen wasn't just a screen full of thumbnails of porn.
Yeah.
It was.
No, but this all happened before you even had me on.
Bullshit, man! Don't do this. Don't do the Zach Harper. Zach was like, I don't know what he's talking about. We didn't talk about any of this.
I met you last week. I mean, I don't.
Oh yeah, connect the dots here.
Yeah,
What's the timeline? Doesn't match up.
Timeline. I don't know. You got to like Doctor Strange this, but we didn't know each other, so you were just into that.
Hasan
kind of
Minhaj.
I don't judge you. I mean, I don't judge you.
Right.
The porn exists. They're all consenting adults. Someone has to consume it, and you're keeping these lovely young ladies and men employed, which is great.
Yes.
So good for you. Hasan Minhaj. Here's my beef with Hasan Minhaj. So I'm playing in the Celebrity All-Star Game. I believe it was 2019. Whenever
in Charlotte.
In Charlotte. Great. It was an amazing experience.
Great city.
For some reason, I was teammates with future Senator Dr. Oz. What the hell?
Things have changed.
Yeah, that was
pre-pandemic, man.
Times were dramatically different. Pre-pandemic, Dano. And Hasan Minhaj is on my team. Great comic, a friend, and Ray Allen is also on our team. Mm-hmm. I had an assist to Ray Allen. It's one of the highlights of my life. There's a great photo if you Google me playing in this game of Jason Williams shooting a 3 and me trying to block it. My hand is thigh level.
Yes.
Dangerous game, Brad. That's a dangerous game.
Some might say the most dangerous game. And I'm still like outstretched, like trying my darndest to, I don't know, block his fourth eye. And needless to say, I didn't do it. But so we're down in the game. Our team is down in the game. And then we start a ferocious comeback. Comedian Adam Ray had some points. It was fantastic. And then we're coming back. Hasan steals the ball. Oh my God. We need a 3 to tie. And we need this 3. He steals the ball. He's coming down. He has Ray Allen on the wing.
Don't say it.
On the wing. Not just any three-point shooter. Statistically, at the time, the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. That's who he has on the wing.
Brad, don't say it.
Hasan, I was on The Daily Show. I did some one-man shows on Netflix. I got this shit. Hasan pulls up. He shoots the 3. What do you think happens? He misses the 3. Other team rebounds, and we lose the game. Hasan.
He looked off Ray Allen.
You looked off Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Did he not see Game 6?
He's hit bigger threes with, not the actor who plays Luke Cage in his face. What is happening, Hasan? I will never let that man forget that.
I won't either. I'm
glad we have it here on the show.
Yeah.
So we got to wrap up, but before we do, like I said at the beginning, Brad's a huge fan of the show.
Yes.
Brad, this is what I want you to do.
Okay.
I want you to tell me what's going to happen to KD and Kyrie, but I want you to do it as Stugotz.
Okay. Listen, buddy. KD, Kyrie. Here's what you have to look. You have to look at the trade assets. If LeBron wants Kyrie, he's going to get Kyrie. That's what's going to happen. He'll put all the draft picks out there. He doesn't care about the future of the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to get Kyrie. So they'll trade everybody. It'll be AD. It'll be Kyrie. It'll be Bron. He's the manager, buddy. KD, listen, he's got to go somewhere to win a ring because he only has 1 ring in my personal record. No rings in my personal record book. No rings, so he can't go back to Golden State. He wants to go to a winner. He's gonna go to Miami. That's where he's gonna go. The Godfather will trade everything to get him. The Godfather, getting up there in age, buddy. He can't play the long game. He can't play the long game. Riles, he can't play the long game. So he's in win now mode. Trades for KD. Him and Jimmy Butler will hoist the Larry O'Brien Trophy, giving KD 1 ring in my personal record book.
Wow. Not enough phlegm, but good job.
Well, I know what's going to happen. At least, I would have thrown some heaters.
No.
That's why you're the best.
Super Bowl week, Dano.
How about that?
How about that? All right, that's going to do it for us here. Brad Williams, thanks a lot for joining us, man.
Thank you guys so much.